time they were a little bit feeling out of sorts. Hopefully they are ready to go today because this is no easy opponent. Fnatic sitting in that first place, untouched thus far. Formidable form, looking how they can continue that going forward. Let's dive into it. On to the game itself. Good to see Dirk has made it out from that surgery I heard on socials.
Yeah, undergone major surgery. You know, it might be the tried and tested. Yeah, that's the top side. Dirk.
The surgery's changed nothing.
No, nothing.
He's got a second as well. Durka, dominance at the start already. Hate that knife. However, Twisted, Bone Cold, and Sender, what can you do?
Yeah, tough to really crack back through here because Fnatic have been allowed to reset fully. Lots to deal with here. Durka continuing. Finds his third on the round now, potentially looking for the fourth as well.
He actually is in a real position to do some damage for it too. Yeah, we know the vitality is style. Give him the ace! Give him the ace! The surgery was not successful. The man absolutely demolishing Vitality round one. And well, Vitality's woes in pistol rounds continue sadly, but you can't take much away from what Dirk has been up to.
I mean, that is a ridiculous opener to find as well. I said time and time again, we see them prioritize towards B. It's very, very vanilla, this cut and dry approach. Fantastic start for the boys.
Good to see the fans out here. I believe we actually have a bit of a VIP in the house as well.
I had heard, yeah.
Rumours of one of our wonderful stylists is actually sitting in the audience today. I think she's trying to explain the game to her parents potentially, or a friend here. But it's good to see everyone turning out. I know the Fnatic fans turn up in numbers, so...
Fully packed on that side.
Yeah, it is. Vitality, hey, they got some decent numbers.
No flag though, I'm concerned
no,
with no
flag
flag over there.
Where's the flag? Come on now. Well, we talk about ult progress. Dirk is just knocking on the door already.
So nobody else anything to write home about. Whether or not actually we've seen him try and prioritize getting that Blade Storm online. Does have the Phantom, so don't really want to see him
placing swamp grenade.
At least fully opening, but at least he's I mean, one kill and a death. Obviously he's still going to have it regardless. Mozzie going to get stunned up here. And it's cleared with a dash as well.
Nice. Oh, God. This is actually quite hard to watch so far. Durka is in wonderful form. Again, you can't really say too much about it. This guy is arguably one of the best in the game. Alpha not so happy about that. Funny enough, Twiston with a shorty. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, the trademark. Will be cleared here at least with the aftershock. Destrian will actually remove Durka. Now, I mean, the Phantom becomes available, but not going to be able to get much done with it at all. 3 left standing. Durka already on that Blade Storm. Yeah. Be able to offset this, a comfortable position to be in here for the bonus round. But starting off 7-1 here for Durka. Talk about, I mean, we had this conversation obviously last week with Twiston having a couple of isolated poor performances.
Yes.
Then last week with actually overall bigger picture-wise, Vitality's inability to capitalize on the work he can get done. Yeah. And here it's a very, very tough head-to-head. I mean,
it is. It's the toughest head-to-head, I'd say.
Yeah, alongside. I mean, back-to-back weeks you go off against CNED and then you go against Durka the next.
Yeah. You're not. If you come out even standing, it's impressive. A rough one for Twiston, who has been, you know, turning a couple of heads. He's certainly had a couple of performances, and that's going to be a horrible surprise. But it goes so right for Twiston. Fighting all three, Durka, Leo, and Chronicle all go down.
Well, he must have heard us.
Apparently so. He's up to the challenge today, apparently. 8 HP, but he can rescind, he can fall back. Sender through smoke as well. Barely seeing half of these kills, but if that's how you get them, you get them. Alpha, a 1v5. Not gonna happen. Twiston, lovely round for him. And to get confidence building, perfect.
Absolutely. He's a player that thrives on that, you know, riding the wave in terms of the momentum. It's just, unfortunately, some of these series for Vitality not being there. And don't get me wrong, this guy's been putting up numbers.
Oh, he has been.
I had this conversation with Zesh back and forth earlier on, and it's like the problem lies a little deeper with where Vitality are able to capitalize on that, convert that into, you know, total site control, comfortably finding a post-plant position. Any of these other issues we've seen crop up, because I think even thinking back series prior to that as well, in terms of head-to-heads across the entire 5-man roster of BBL, Twiston didn't come out on top in one head-to-head. I'm not just talking opening duels, I'm talking overall.
A lot resting on that man's shoulders for this team, but there are other players I do want to see have far more impact as well, because that potential with Vitality is there. Currently sitting in 6th place, just on that cusp though. This was going to be probably one of the toughest segments of the league. Na'Vi, Fnatic, sure, but again, just starting to get into a very precarious position overall.
See, after noting this utility, I see the ping come out from Sender towards Sewers and towards A-Long.
Careful.
But Fnatic have actually regrouped here. Big information there. I think spotting at least 4 members of Fnatic. But Fnatic able to capitalize. As soon as they're spotted, it's going to flood towards site here. Some damage done towards Sender, and Vitality right now completely locked out of this.
Spike planted.
Yeah, no access by any means. Now it starts to get a little interesting. What do they have to work it back in with? Now they do have a little bit of utility, right? Molzy's got most of his. Bone Cold's got a fair amount. Smoke about to be invested. Twiston still sitting full kit, and Destry not far off either. So this retake should have some legs to it. None of it really lands though. It's just the trade that's come in so far. And with Chronicle still putting up numbers, Vitality looking a little rough on the edges here. Bone Cold needs more, gets more, much better. Can they displace the final player? It's Alpha in a 1v3, and that defuse is gonna be his biggest problem so far. First challenge found. Oh, he denied the attempt, but the defuse will be picked up by Sender, and Vitality actually managed to navigate that retake.
Yeah, patience actually shown by Alpha here there on long. Unlucky not to find the other, but a perfect swing from Sender. So like I say, yeah, Chronicle obviously finds his first kill onto Twiston to kind of remove the punch from this retake, but after that, Bone Cold comes through, finds 2 kills, Destry, and also
Really nice,
things just kind of collapse very quickly for Fnatic there.
Very nice. That round has at least unlocked the operator now. That's going to be out for Twiston. See how that dynamic works in this. Buy shaky at best for Fnatic. Bits and pieces.
Only an alarm bot here that's, I mean, technically Molzy playing contact off it. Dealt with very quickly. Actually find themselves in, and will actually spot out Molzy's position. And time again, we see Fnatic not smoke both sides of this. They want the opportunity to take that opening duel. That's
big
Fury
tag
here, though. And Twiston finds a kill as well.
Yeah, very nice. The timing, oh, the rifle gives away the game. Sender, perfect on the push as well. Boaster punished, leaving Leo with such an undesirable weapon, but makes the most of it for one. Cannot go any further. Brilliant hold there from Vitality. Sight, all Fnatics, fantastic, but then all of the response coming back in was unanimous almost.
And Vitality are happy to give up sites like this. I mean, especially here, so quickly finding Alpha here is obviously a problem for Fnatic. The problem is, I mean, you're going to struggle to find value in these lurks. If Vitality give up these sites and they're happy to play a 5-man retake, then they have a body they can leave an extra 10 to 15 seconds on either extremity just to pick up Alpha yet.
I do want to see how this continues, because you'll never catch us saying that Fnatic won't have a plan. It's not even called for a timeout just yet. Maybe if this one starts to go a little awry, they don't have any answers, you could see them pump the brakes. As it stands, let's see how they approach this one now. Good purchase by them. Chronicle does have his ult. Alpha 1 away as well, so a couple of key pieces to implement. And Twiston gonna let a shot fly, so position will be considered.
Optimistic, but looking for the wallbang towards A lobby there.
Very optimistic, but you never know. You won't get it unless you try. Vitality staying so deep on this though. Yeah, okay, so Destrian, well aware of at least quite a large amount of the intent from Fnatic, getting that contact towards long. Not sure how much he's seen.
And what's key is here, Molzy and Destrian, neither of them have used any utility just yet. And actually, with the lockdown in the back pocket for Sender, he's got no mollies invested just yet elsewhere on the map. Wow. So there's lots available for Vitality here.
Fnatic will get this site control. No one's going to be going ahead of this. Good information, actually. Lovely work there for Destrian, but he actually loses out. The spam from Boaster was on the money, and Twiston not able to find anyone over the wall. So now, that was a bit interesting.
Sender considering.
He's thinking about it, but.
I mean, at this point, yeah, 3v5, it doesn't feel comfortable to throw such a huge ultimate into a round like this. Durka will actually remove his head.
Okay.
Response is there, but Twistin tagged up already. Shock Dart will bring him down to 60 HP, and with the operator, it's not going to feel feasible here for Vitality to fully commit to this. Or maybe stunned to catch somebody else.
Chronicle can just police this weapon if he needs to, maybe even find the final player. That is going to be Molzy. Nah, Molzy's got it, but...
Don't think you can get back and get the... I mean, again, the money on the side is... Destrian's going to be able to drop one across at least.
Oh, close.
Doesn't retrieve, but yeah, like I said, there's money elsewhere on the side of it. Again, another timing caught. That lurk or the flank, obviously the other side of things by Alpha yet. And I'll be honest, it's kills like that that do completely disrupt the game plan of Vitality.
100%.
You lose somebody like that ahead of time, it's the smokes, it's the paranoia. It makes it so difficult to actually utilize all of these tools at their disposal, which is the plan from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it again here. We're going to see only the recon invested. There's no fault line on the back of it. This is just to try and post up, create some pressure here. Slight
Twistin.
adaptation. Yeah, the out drone here to... maybe things like this are what Vitality are going to employ to catch them off guard.
If it burns a little more utility on the way in, not too bad. Twistin, he's certainly looking dangerous. But there is that tipping point. He will have to rescind and fall back, right? But when is that?
Well, conversely, there's actually 3 players posted up on site here for Vitality, so maybe even considering this reclearance towards sewers.
And it is an isolated player. Boast is so vulnerable right now. They have no idea of it. Molzy. Yeah, okay, he's got Boaster down. The paranoia did go through. It's not going to catch because Boaster fell ahead of it, but that's fine.
They can't follow through on this, though.
No, they've had to pause.
Yeah. So now really looking towards, I mean, either Durka at 47 HP, now finding an entry elsewhere because they have to hit a site without smokes.
But I like seeing Bone Cold drift back. I feel like there's that little bit of awareness going, okay, there's no more in, you know, tells that they're coming towards A. This is really nicely done. Even just trying to find Boaster or whoever it was in sewer, isolate that kill. But this still puts pressure on Sender. He's not out of the woods by any means. Yeah, stunned up, has to fall away from the site. This does then kind of lean back into maybe that retake. Lockdown going to come in. Actually, that throws a bit of a problem, but Alpha, out of nowhere, is destroying them. They do everything right. And then out of nowhere, Alpha strides in, kicks down the door, and takes 2 to 3 with him.
It's so ridiculous to find those kills. Again, there's no real requirement for them to swing through window there. Just let the lockdown tick away. There's 14 seconds left on the clock. God, Twistin's tagged up on the recon. What a recovery by Fnatic. I mean, barely breaking a sweat there when they find themselves towards C site. That is outrageous from Alpha, yeah. Like I said, I'm not sure of the exact time of actually when the lockdown goes down, but yeah. See, look here. 11 seconds left on the lockdown, 13 seconds left on the clock. And there's 2 swinging towards committing to retake Garage so early.
So they're frustrated, I'm sure. One of those rounds that you're thinking, God, we did everything right early rounds.
Yeah.
And then that one little mistake. But against Fnatic, you can't make those little mistakes. They will find the value in it. And they exploited it very well there. Now, let's turn our attention back to the round at hand. Operator still into play for Twistin. Money's starting to become far more robust for Fnatic, however. The challenge looks like it's towards Sender. He's in danger.
I was going to say,
Does
Sender
he get out
has
in time?
to
Hold
get out
on.
of this
Careful,
fast.
the paranoia. Durka's got 2! How's he got 2 and a 3rd? They can't stop winning everything they do. Even he's surprised. The last round was ridiculous for Alpha to get 2 in that. And then Durka's gone, I fancy a bit myself.
Just 2 ridiculous sequences in Garage back to back for Fnatic. And now, at least hints of that game plan starting to crumble for Vitality. No opportunity to try and retake here.
On target.
A consolation at best here, but 4 still standing for Fnatic. Bladestorm online now, Boaster 1 away for 2 aces. I didn't even catch that on the minimap there. I think, yeah, it's garbage time. They're looking to try and save, but Durka wanted his 2nd.
One's not enough for that, man. God. And this is the game that breaks your heart for a Vitality fan and for players, right?
It's hard, yeah. Well, I say that the 2nd kill's heartbreaking there, the 3rd, even more so.
Oh, I see our stylist in the
That
audience.
was our VIP.
There she is, chilling out up there. The slow clap. She's ignoring us now. She's busy. Oh, God.
I was going to say, I'm curious now if the response becomes dig your heels in and fight very, very early on. I mean, they trade off Twisted and Durka here, so you got to argue maybe it's a win for Vitality in that respect.
I'll take that, maybe.
Problem being now, actually, if they do get themselves into a post plant, there's a Hunter's Fury, there's a lockdown available for Fnatic. But it's only the TP of Bone Cold. Some utility here and there, but a different example here. Molesy's got no flashes left. It's the Aftershock fault line when it comes back online, and the Paranoia.
They are re-clearing sewer, which I like, but even then it's still behind the curve, right? It's still, the timing is so far away still.
But they don't catch anybody drifting away from the side. There's no confirmation.
So it's just poor old Sender, once again, having to deal with so much pressure through Garage. They've been battered in this area.
Nice Paranoia.
Lovely work, trying to make something happen, only able to isolate Alpha, but still a 3v3 now. Bone Cold still holding to the side.
Did he spot Leo? I think he did.
And Chronicle's got utility in hand. He's just put it away. The timing's everything. Does great on one. Can he keep his life? Yes. Oh, snap! Right back to it. Bone Cold finds the fight on long, though. And now 1v2. Chronicle, what can you do in this? Your team has just clutched up so many rounds, but 10 seconds. He has to make a move fast. He's got the B site available.
Free plant here, technically.
Yes. Yeah, okay. He's got the plant. A little bit of util as well. Can he find a free
fight?
fight?
Line back in like 2 or 3 seconds. Yeah, it's back now. Does have the Aftershock as well, but he wants to take an opening duel here.
Molesy needs to be careful. Bone Cold's nowhere near him just yet either. They need to try and work in unison. Do not give Chronicle another fair fight here. And he's given him it. This is a mistake and a half. Chronicle now in the 1v1. He's got to read this, surely. Bone Cold needs to make wonders out of this. No Paranoia. Smoke, yes. Time being purchased again and again.
It's too late here.
Oh my
way
God,
too late to be reflanking through here.
Oh, he's sick. Oh, does he? He doesn't have the time.
He's not.
Oh, that's
he
so close. Has he?
Yeah.
He absolutely does. Bloody hell. Chronicle went around the world.
Yeah, so paranoid that he's noted there. He's actually expecting Bone Cold to come and hard clear him, even after that smoke is invested towards front sight. I mean, there's a world there where Bone Cold can just stick the defuse all the way through.
Yeah.
Technically rolling the dice, but...
I just still can't believe we got to that scenario. The fact that that got down to a 1v1 just feels obscene.
Nice.
They've been bullied a couple rounds in a row.
Yeah.
They ain't got it in them right now. Okay, again, proactive through sewer. They really want this pressure point.
I think this is, I was asking what the response will be from Vitality, and they're happy to continue exploring here. Yeah, one set of shots outside here, so again, I'm looking for movement. I already see it now with Destria making his way back through spawn.
But they can't leave Twiston alone to this, even though it's such a nice position to be pushed up to. Still needs to have Molesy by his side.
Look at the pings coming through from Fnatic as well, yeah. And actually, this smoke should isolate Twiston. Twiston's got to go huge in this position once again.
It's all on him. Yeah, it's been checked on. Fnatic reading them like a book. Every intention they've had, every little tell, they read the perfect.
They give them this space, by the way.
Yeah.
They almost want Vitality to post somebody up close.
It had worked maybe a couple times in the previous rounds, even rolling it back, but again, Fnatic just learning on the fly. And now B looking extremely vulnerable.
30 seconds left.
Bone Cold slowly making his way down C-Long, but again, stopped by the turret now. Again, some utility burn up. Will delay the plant, but will still come through regardless. They need to pressure this backline. All of Vitality come from the same side right now.
Destrian's found Dirk, but that's towards the front side of things. How do you disrupt the back? Maybe this is how you do it, apparently. But the answer's coming back in. Boncomb's going to sit at least a half. He's fine, gets off this. Alpha needed a kill from that. He's not going to get it. No further real damage comes in. Yes, they're down to half, but they can still defuse. Alpha can only get one in this.
What?
Wait, the nano swarm, hold on.
Again, the first kill, he almost adjusts for the second operator kill.
That was really
by the way.
close.
And again, I mean, I'm very, very conscious of Vitality's approach to this retake, but I think a couple of members of Fnatic over-committing to this first point of contact. Hunter Fury obviously clearing out that... Oh, the shock dart comes through just too late.
One enemy remaining.
Finest margins here. This is it's 5-5. It's a hella scrappy game between these two.
Another situation where actually Twistin falls first and Vitality able to convert the round on the back of it.
Okay.
That's a very early investment.
You can't close that gap at all.
I will give them sight at least, because Vitality have to get out.
How much do they have to retake on the other side? Still quite a decent amount. So last time around, there's almost a freebie towards Heaven, right? I think it was Destrian got punished by Boaster, a couple other issues, but this is actually should do a good amount of chip damage. Alpha on the operator and Dirk are up close. Still gonna be a 2-for-1 trade out. Aussie trying to clear towards Graffiti, spots nothing. We can see the positions the Fnatic are holding. That was very close by though. And now there is a flank on the way, but need to get moving on this. 2 players towards suicide.
No paranoia, no, again, no flashes from Molsey. Sender very late on this flank. Might catch Durka, but time's already expired, I feel.
He's found 2 of them. They need to try and clear Leo about 5 minutes ago, but they're trying to do what they can. They make it a half. That's not bad. That's incredible. Vitality somehow dicing up Fnatic into manageable pieces.
I mean, it's another situation where you think, yeah, sure, Fnatic are going to be able to hold on to this. 2 kills come through, similar to the previous.
Yes.
Probably the worst timing possible for Fnatic in a post plant. I mean, I'd be very surprised if this is the plan all along, but initially, at least here, Vitality look as if they wanted to lean heavily on kind of, you know, playing numbers advantages, but even now they're getting away with some retakes that they absolutely shouldn't.
Yeah, you can see Mini's not happy about that either. it's rare you see a little frustration from Mini, but it's certainly there.
Really impressed with Vitality though.
And it's not just over the usual win conditions of like Twistin having a mad game, it's more than that. Let's see now. Isolating Durka on the site, can they deal with him? Yes, and no follow-up. The utility work towards Long was fantastic, and bear in mind they have 3 players ready here for this.
Yeah, Boast has been noted himself, and I think as well, hearing Destrian, but not going to anticipate Twistin slipping into this position.
No, not at this point, right?
Look at the pings from Fnatic, they're looking to go mid to A potentially.
He could be painting his own downfall. Boast is clearing towards window. Does he dare check?
Twistin's got to be careful of his barrel showing over the top of that as well.
Oh, it's all on Twistin. Oh,
how many does he let pass? Boaster
clears it! How does he even have the audacity to consider that?
And the thing is now, they ping out this mid to A rotation because they heard Destrian. They know Destrian's towards A lobby.
But Boaster just feels untouchable, apparently. Just flies on up towards Heaven, doesn't get punished towards CT. So the plant's going to come in. Now, yes, the flank's there, but you can see where Fnatic are planting, seemingly very conscious
totally
of the
aware.
fact.
Totally aware.
There's nothing left to surprise here. And still, you can see Sender trying to clear through just in case the flank's still there, the lurk's still coming in. It's not. They are sitting ready for this. Very unorthodox as well. Lockdown on lockdown.
They will trade off here, and you've got to argue that Fnatic ultimately the ones to probably benefit from this a little better, but Bone Cold isolating Boaster very early on here.
Well, this is going to be so down to the... Did they forget about Destrian? He just navigated around towards Suit, but they need to make a move. It's down to Alpha and Leo, but the time is slim. Vitality have to get on the side. They found Leo. Where's Alpha? 3 HP. Nothing more to be done. The time is slim, but it's there, surely. Bone Cold holding on to this one. Another defuse.
Bone Cold,
he's like, no.
Like, do I got it? I think I got it, yeah.
I think we're good. We're at 7-5.
Very,
we're
very
at
bizarre.
7-5.
I guess the last 6 rounds, really, you could argue some, again, beautiful decision-making here in the mid-round from Boaster. You can see initially that plan was made on the fly immediately. It just so happens to boot, they get the kill onto Twistin. I mean, I'm not sure, actually, if Vitality know just how fortuitous that lockdown is, because it forces them away to Long. They've planted for backside towards CT.
So it's really...
So Boaster dies, they then have no opportunity to then actually stack up because arguably, like I said, they knew where Deathstream was. Boaster heard those steps. That's the whole reason they formulate that plan of mid to A.
Wow, a lot to be said about this half, and I actually want to kind of almost lean into it once we come back from this, but I've got a little bit of a note here. We're heading down to Ginny for a little bit of a surprise.
I know these candles are on, I don't want to switch them off. There is a special someone here today that is actually not working, but still took out the time of their day to come in and watch some of these games, but also be supportive. His name is Pavlos. He's sitting right here on the couch. So you are on TV. I'm gonna give you a microphone. I know you know how to hold those ones. So you have 4 candles, 1 for each brain cell. So you get to make a wish, whatever that might be, and you get to obviously blow out the candles as well. So enjoy it. Well, blow out the candles. Do you want me to hold something?
I'm just making a wish real quick.
Okay, would you tell us what your wish is?
Then it wouldn't work.
Please, are you hoping for Vitality to win? Is that
Maybe?
your wish?
Maybe? Can't confirm
right.
or deny.
Hey, can we have some happy birthday, please? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pavlos. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You're like 2 years
Thank you, everybody.
off of being an esports boomer.
Yeah, only 2 left. 25 is the age. I'll catch
4
up to
brain
it at some point.
cells, 2 years left for retirement. You're doing great. Enjoy your cake. You can have it. Can I have my microphone back? Thank you very much. We are going to be heading back over to our casters, so Pansy and Hypok, take it away.
I've been called old. Someone had the audacity to try and sing and hope the audience came along with it. That's brave. That was a really brave choice.
The echo was not good out here.
It was, hey, you can't win them all, but I love the attempt. Indeed, happy birthday. But we need to start focusing on this game. And Mike, actually roll it back, because that first half actually deserves a lot of credit here, because Vitality have done something that I think a lot of us didn't expect them to do, and not off the win conditions we would have expected.
No, there was, and again, when you talk about Fnatic and I guess the plan, the intention in a lot of these rounds where some of these are unexpected outcomes.
Yeah.
I said you look at the minimap, you look at the position,
You think, okay.
yeah, barring 2 or 3 kills here, Vitality should not win this round.
Yeah.
And they absolutely swung them back in their favor.
And that's, keep in mind, this is Fnatic with 5 rounds with 2 aces from Durka, right? So take from that what you will. Durka only going to get 1 hit, quickly handled. Leo strides in, does well enough to find Twiston, and actually follows up. Sender goes down, and Fnatic just brutality is the name of the game. That was messy, but it's got the job done.
I think Bonecod even thinks he's killed Durka there, looking to find a second opponent on site here. Yeah, Molsey down to 40 HP. It'll be tough to find anything here. We'll hear the reload at least from Boaster, but so is he considering clearing with the aftershock? Boaster will close things out. Pistol and around 2. The Fnatic right back in this.
Again, though, I don't think it's a trend that Vitality are too surprised at. We know that those pistol rounds have evaded them for quite some time. They should be.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is a conversation we could go on about for a long time. Like I said, last week actually getting the opportunity of seeing them in the 9-3 half, where then you talk about the pistol round success rate being absolutely crucial, or at least a lot more weight to it.
Yeah.
This one here starts 7-5.
Not the end
Take
of
it
the
with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. And there's a shorty for Twiston, so he's probably good for 1.
It's a 4-buy round for Twiston.
Sheriff and Molsey and Sender.
Standing ahead.
And what does Vitality do? Maybe a little fact-finding mission about some of that utility, where it's at, how they're trying to approach this.
Zestria needs a ton of damage there. Just trying to deal with some of that utility, but
Right there.
obviously trying to establish some of these protocols in a round where it's going to be difficult to do so. Leo does actually catch sight of Bone Cold here. We'll find Warbang onto him. Twiston tries to close the gap. Fortunately shut down. They can keep this clean, keep 5 standing at least. A huge bonus, I say that. Sender
Revealing area.
on the shot onto Durka. Difficult to recover that weapon, or actually the spike as well. Need a lot more. Cinder's still so disgusting with the Sheriff. We talk about
His
Bone
team-
Cold quite often.
Yeah. Sender's not far behind. I think, if anything, kind of starting to take that crown a little bit. Boaster
30 seconds left.
creeping on the back lines, though. It should be quite telling that he's not being able to spot anyone towards Sewer, so they've pushed up pretty close to tuck it in towards the corner. This crossfire is very unpleasant to try and break. Sender's going to need an absolute banger of a shot, but there's Boaster in the back line, and it ain't pretty, but it's got the job done.
Close it out. Will actually retrieve, well, 3 rifles, the 2 Bulldogs and the Phantom. This time around won't have the Blade Storm there for Durka. Just again with that protected purchase, should be able to get another rifle on board. Chronicle at least buying down to 50, so yeah, expecting the purchase out of Durka as well. For this Logitech G power-up round.
One of my favorites. Let's see if the game is actually going to keep up to the quality of the first half. 7-7, this could be one of the rounds that defines outcome. See what Vitality can do here, now fully equipped. Extrapolating what information they could from those first couple of rounds.
Denial of space towards A lobby actually pushes Vitality immediately towards this heavy ceiling. Boaster will be called upon. Looks to reposition here. He's got himself a shorty as well. Vitality happy that they've baited out a couple of bits of utility, but no commitment on the back of it. Already you're going to see Leo head back towards A and Chronicle to pick up the slack towards B.
Now the problem is there is still a utility setup. It actually handled, okay. Vitality now should have decent access. Twiston seems very paranoid of Boaster there, but it's Molsey to claim him. Alpha was trying to keep him safe, but these rotations aren't far away. Leo can lean right back in. Alpha's doing a wonderous job, but it is Destrian doing damage. Alpha and Durka, though, both towards CT1 on flat. And Alpha is dangerous when he's in this sort of form, but Bone Cold is as well. Vitality, again, a couple of these rounds, Mike, it feels like, okay, well, Fnatic, if they're 2 big boys, right? They've got your Durka backside, you've got Alpha really starting to heat up a bit.
Alpha goes huge on backside here.
Like, look at this. Just unbelievable. Then tell me that looks like a Vitality win.
Yeah. I mean, Alpha's desperate to follow up on Durka taking contact on Logs, but again, a lot of damage done in the bonus round. And I mean, you noted it earlier on. I think Mini actually questioning some of those tiny bits of synergy in some of these rounds for Fnatic that are just ever so slightly off.
That's Blades on for Durka. Okay, this round got a little bit more dangerous here. You've got the Guardian, you have the Vandal, and suddenly Vitality keep their heads down. They want none of what Durka's selling, but now they're committed to this, right? Like, he's willing to take a fight on this.
I was going to say, nobody can deal with the drone for him, though. And does burn up the dash, so potentially can't post up aggressively now. Is that a big enough indicator for Vitality to head elsewhere? I mean, they're exploring elsewhere on the map, yes, but they're actually setting up for a pinch towards A.
The timing on this.
Leo's step will be noted at least. I'm not even sure actually if Leo's step is what deters them away from that A pinch. It looked as if Sender and Bone Cold were happy to challenge towards B there. And the timing in this contact found in Garage could actually be disastrous for Fnatic. I mean, Durka's still, yeah, they've got the perfect read here actually. It's pulled nothing.
Thought about that. Yeah, by all accounts, you'd imagine that they were going to go for that lean. But Sender's done well to find the lurk in middle. That's Leo now removed, spots the barrel from Alpha. Perfect, really good value to this. But Durka's still standing and still fighting. 2 huge kills, 13 seconds. Spike's still in sewer, 10 now. They need Durka dead or they've got this round. Boaster's found another.
What?
How has Fnatic turned this one around? Sender did everything right. They had the sight on a platter, but Durka somehow saw through it, got himself there and got a boatload of kills and got Fnatic the round.
Boaster goes huge with the Sheriff as well. Massive kill. I think it was a Destrian down towards long. This is massive from Durka as well. Yeah, Destrian down on long here. And then the freebie onto Bone Cold.
Yeah, I can drop Durka up now.
That is ridiculous to turn that around. Another round, actually, crediting Vitality in the first half for some of them, but you look at that, the timing of Sender finding not just one, but 2 kills on that mid lurk.
I'm just still amazed that Fnatic read that. I don't know if there was an audio cue or something, but...
I guess because there's no steps behind dealing with the turret, there's no flood into garage. If you know 2 players there, potentially, if Bone Cold's still there, he has to come back and retrieve the spike, sure, but if there's 2 players, maybe that's what changes things.
Oh, denied.
And that's big, actually.
Oh, okay, Sender's still found a bit of room, but Dirk is here. Yeah, Dirk has got you dead. No worries about that. Could get more pressure following. Not really. This is all looking a bit too messy for my taste again. The spike is down on B, so the actual meat of this round seems as though it's been picked clean. And Ascender does something quite miraculous here. And Boaster in a dirty little angle. Not gonna let Bone Cold past. And the spam's good enough for the job done. There's that to claim it. Fnatic make it to 9. And not as much impact there as Vitality would have wanted, I imagine.
Right here.
No, I mean, it always feels a little uncomfortable going for these drive-by hits on B, especially if Twiston's solo ahead of the spike. It's then down on site. Somebody has to come out of the smoke to retrieve it, and there's just a lack of information. The recon's obviously long expired by then, unless you get massive amounts of information from it. I think here, actually, it's posted inside Twiston's Cloudburst so that nobody can push him whilst he's planting that. But again, maybe plant location a little bit safer. They don't lose a spike in that situation, but like I said, it never feels comfortable for these kind of run in, plant, dash out, full reset towards mid. Especially if the enemy controller is still alive, there's always that chance of something going wrong in the post plant.
Yeah, it feels incredibly risky.
That felt like a roll the dice round for Vitality, to be honest. Again, this scoreline is not too concerning.
No, and bigger picture, we're talking about the team in 6th place who've started to come up against the big boy opponents here. And actually putting up a really fair fight against Fnatic, who are sat in 1st. Now, again, you look at the map pool, Haven, Bind especially, you think this is a 2-0 all day, but by all accounts, credit to Vitality and credit to Sender, who's having a fabulous game for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, obviously, I mean, touching on this role change ever so slightly with Destiny and Bone Cold, I like it. You're never really going to lurk better than Bone Cold, to be honest, and if he's in that position where he can kind of orchestrate these rounds from the back lines, something we did see time and time again on Split last week, actually, where Destiny was just unable to find value consistently in that position. So I'm curious, actually, if there was a set piece around Chronicles Aftershock there, with the star placement, actually, again, fairly default from Boaster, but we haven't seen it just yet. For maybe the fault line to follow up, the gravity well comes through. Yeah. Especially with Vitality a couple times stacking 3 players into that cubby opposite sandbags.
Maybe just needed a little bit more showing of presence and they could have pulled the trigger on it. Maybe something to look at in the future.
As I said, Durka is the solo anchor for C here. Will be droned off. There's a turret, it's obviously... he actually repeats onto that whilst revealed.
The paranoia didn't quite catch him either, so Twiston's now on red alert. Durka has finally had to fall away from the site. Gives it up, but the tag, it's got 2 players. Molzy and Bone Cold trying to do the dance, and Molzy just gets pinned to the corner. They are going to get the plant for this, though. And the lockdown coming in.
And Alpha 2 away. Very early lockdown, though. So Boaster does have the Cosmic Divide, so Vitality have to commit towards... I was going to say site or garage here, because they can't really give up site here with the Cosmic Divide being available.
Oh my word, they've got
Destiny
2.
and Twiston got 1.
They got Chronicle and Durka down. This is massive, and Twiston didn't fall away. He held his ground, and he held the fight perfectly. Still spots out another towards CT. He knows the positions now. He's in so much danger, though. He has to try and make a move out of here. He can't hold on for much longer. But the time he is buying is so precious. Alpha and Leo, they've got the operator. It's save time. There's no more seconds left on this. Alpha could do some damage, maybe. Catch Destrian on the way out, potentially. No, I don't think he's got the opportunity for it here.
This is beautiful. Like I said,
wow.
The awareness, obviously, that they cannot, obviously, completely reset. They take the space while the lockdown's still ticking away on site. Again, with that Cosmic Divide, that can completely shut down any post plant towards long, or focused at least towards long.
It just feels so precarious that this is how they win the round, basically, at that point. Or secure it, should I say. 2 wall bangs, but I guess that's what they kind of committed behind, so it works out well, but man.
I don't think Fnatic were expecting Vitality to be that proactive.
Maybe
to be
not,
honest.
yeah. That's probably the bigger draw of it, was the fact they actually got proactive in Garage there, rather than falling too far deep. But we do see Dirk with it. Oh, hello, Twiston. Boaster's the one to actually find Twiston in response, but
I mean,
gets away with his life.
You see the confusion on Durka's face there, where it's the first real time.
Cleared.
Is Alpha going to get cleared? Yes, he is.
Brilliant. Nice heads-up work from Bone Cold there.
Some 50-50 plays here from Fnatic, not going in their favor. Like I said, first time Vitality have been heavily stacked outside. Oh, sorry, outside double doors here.
Yeah.
Traditionally, a lot of focus towards A lobby, so you can see the confusion on Durka's face there. They're probably looking for Sender in that situation, and only expecting Sender, maybe Bone Cold.
Yeah, that's actually a lovely little kind of twist to things. Boaster now trying to take those couple of cautious steps, but did he? Yeah, he's seen Bone Cold there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Calling that one out. You can see how Bone Cold trying to deal with this. So much pressure his way. Leo's been warding off, but it's Chronicle to find Bone Cold. Now the chase towards long. They are all stacked up towards this. Boaster has utility. Can he do anything with it, though? The time is dwindling. Chronicle, damage dealt with, forced back. Boaster's fallen. What more can they do? Leo down so low. It's time to back away again. Vitality are going to take the lead from this, and they want to chase.
Last player
You want to try and remove the operator again. The finances are available for Fnatic, but it's heartbreaking for Boaster. Tries to get the gravity roll and the stun off when he spots all of those players retreating down C-Long. It's just a little clunky with the Astral form. Again, difficult to pull off in that situation, but...
2 in a row now. Oh my word.
And this, like I said, this starts with 2 separate plays that you think are 50-50s, which Fnatic aren't known for.
No.
Like I said, I think a
Nice!
massive curveball that it's not just Sender outside playing contact off the turret, it's not just Bone Cold looking for some information lurking early on in this default. Maybe this is what Mini's going to relay to us. Yeah. We've seen him be a little frustrated with some of these because they are, like I said, there are a lot of rounds in Valorant where you look at on the minimap, you think expected outcome, 99% of the time you're probably right, but Vitality have got away with clawing some rounds back that they never should have, especially against a team like Fnatic.
Yeah, you're on the money there. And of course, an opportunity for Vitality, Salah as well, to have a chat, kind of check back in, have a conversation about what's going on currently, because...
Probably a harder job for Salah, honestly, because it's like there's so many variables at play. Exactly, yeah, exactly. But this is the thing with Vitality, when Twiston's having one of those days, you do get those dice roll rounds where it's like, Twiston will find you 2 to open up.
Hey.
And
But you could say the same for Durka. I mean, the man's consistent, absolutely.
Sure.
But then he goes to the extreme of, like, sometimes he'll get you 2 full rounds.
Difference being for Fnatic, I think the discussion of Durka being the win condition is less credible nowadays than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Because, again, on all cylinders, this roster is insane, right?
Honestly, if everyone is performing at 110%, no team can stop them.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think anyone's actually going to discredit that unless you're mental. But it is trying to activate all those pieces, right? That's always been the element to it. But you always get a good performance out of Durka. There's not a day that he's going to be off, I feel, anymore. But you're right. Twiston in comparison away is a little bit different.
This is a little different, actually. A much earlier drift towards Garage. Actually, the time in the smoke. But the adjustment on the side of Fnatic actually is... Yeah. Alpha's basically set up towards an anti-rush.
Which is what we've been seeing. And it looks like they're going back towards... And this was during that... They dealt with it pretty well. Okay, a little bit of damage, but... So far, it's okay. It's how they now filter on through, because Alpha can kind of backfill the space here. Yes, Bone Cold's made it to sight, as is the other player there. You just saw him dash through. That's going to be Twiston. The timing, terrible. But Chronicle doing wonderfully. Finding Molesy there is fantastic. He's still trying to hold back by logs. This is massive. That's 2 players revealed. They know the Bone Cold is still on the site. And Leo tucks him into bed. Bloody hell, that was snappy, but...
I mean, this is beautiful from Bone Cold as well. He kind of negates this damage, TPing across onto side, gets himself into a position to maximize value off that paranoia. It's just unfortunate. I think a player gets caught in that long smoke, gets spammed, and Bone Cold's just like, where do I put it? Where do I put the paranoia? Who's ready to swing off it?
No one's quite there yet, And funny...
Twiston casts a blind coming out of connector. There's so many tiny things that go wrong for Vitality here. It's actually really unfortunate, because Bone Cold gets himself into almost
the
a
spot.
guaranteed value position with that paranoia.
But during that timeout, the funny thing as well is that it was mostly Alpha talking. So it probably was, how do we deal with this garage pressure? And I like the adjusted setup there. That's going to work quite well. Puts a little bit more on Boaster, who's actually just taken a lot of damage.
I was going to say, he's got to be really careful actually with how low he gets, that he doesn't get caught with the Hunter's Fury.
27 HP, but he is still standing. And Vitality's burst through garage has been dealt with now.
And the problem being now is actually all these positives we talked about, this drift back towards A, with Durka having seemingly a lot of control or freedom to control this part of the map. I think, yeah, very early on he's going to hear a step. I'm not even sure actually if that was Leo with the Al drone, but seems to have at least kept Durka interested towards sewers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do have the lockdown available here, so even if they leave Durka on an island, if it goes 1-for-1, beneficial for Fnatic. We'll note the second player, but 30 seconds left now. Vitality need to get a move on somewhere.
Where the hell are they going?
30 seconds
They can't back away. Durka's still here. Okay, the flash off was pretty nice to be heads up, but where are they going? 25 seconds. Vitality, where are you going?
Thank God it's Sender that dies, honestly.
Can they get just a manic plant on B? I'm still looking at the utility that maybe Chronicle has. He's got his ult still into play. 10 seconds.
10 seconds left.
What is the plan now? Molzy does find Durka. 6 seconds. They've got to make something. Wait, they're just finding the kills. They need to still find Leo and Chronicle. 2 seconds, it's done.
Yeah.
What on earth was that from Vitality?
One enemy remaining.
I'm not sure at the point at which the penny drops that they're not hitting A site, but the fact that Destrian still has the spike, it feels very uneasy if you're the other 2 or 3 players that rotate towards mid.
Yeah.
Then Sender has to come back to cover his cross. Like I said, if it's Destrian caught by Durka there, round's done before they
GG.
even have a chance to call that audible. Very, very strange round. You see here, there's not a lot separating it at all. And I think you're bang on the money as well. As soon as the clock ticks down there, having the Rolling Thunder, that decides the round. There's nothing Vitality can do to actually get that back in their favor.
No. Very surprised they let it fizzle out like that.
Let's say playing a late round like that into an enemy lockdown and a Rolling Thunder as well. Just
This is precarious for Alpha. This is a big test for him. Again, he has been consistently pressured through towards garage this time around, holding on to the Nano Swarm, kind of placing it himself, reactionary. But they have cleared through garage now, so that has to be something they consider. Last round, Bone Cold was posted up towards long. He took the TP over towards them. Let's see what the game plan is here. Durka does get to keep his life here. Now problems start to mount. Looking like Vitality might be hitting that wall. Is there anything they can do towards the seaside? That looks like they're going this way. You do still have Boaster. You do still have Alpha. And Twiston wants in. Boaster, he didn't get seen. Boaster didn't get seen. And he only gets 1. I thought he could have even had more there, but no. Alpha's still alive, though, and very much willing to challenge. Finds a perfect place. Wanted a bit more as well. Molzy going to handle him quickly. 26 seconds now, finding a cubby to stay alive in just.
I'm not sure even if... Oh, well, Durka's going to very quickly figure out that Twiston got all the way to backside. And they are going to clean things up, yeah. I think you put it perfectly. Felt like hitting the wall. There's a lot of hesitation, at least in the early round for Vitality, where, I mean, even thinking back across this map, it was decisive, right? In terms of sticking to the game plan, there was intention at the start of every single round. Not necessarily seeing that here on the attack. I'll say the home stretch, I should say.
Yeah.
Lots of positives early on for Vitality.
But to me, it's again, just that purely that adjustment, taking away the option of that garage burst has put Vitality into such a bad spot here. They can't take much pressure, they've been trying to kind of explore those A options, right? They faltered. They couldn't quite get past your Leo and Durka.
Not very deep exploration of A options, though,
Not
to be honest.
really.
We haven't really seen Durka pressured on any of these early angles.
No.
Again, the first time really we saw that updraft, but well, that's the 1 in 7 rounds where you've got the Blade Storm.
No, there wasn't anything there. Yeah, you're right.
It was a drone, and then Twiston updrafted way after the drone as well. Durka stood there looking at the drone for 3 seconds, and that's the time where you want the updraft to come.
That'd
when
be lovely,
there's more than
wouldn't it?
one thing for Durka to focus on. Like,
He'll still adjust somehow.
Yeah.
But that's fair. Yeah, you're right. I would love to have seen them maybe in these last couple of rounds test a little further towards that. It's easier said than done. Go challenge Durka and Leo.
Sure.
But
kill Durka, win round.
because this, as said, the changing garage has completely taken that off the board from them. Even though we have seen that Alpha's not gone back to it. It's a different setup now.
And again, they're not finding a massive amount of value off that utility. Like I said, it's targeted towards that anti-rush setup.
Yeah.
But they haven't really found much of, well, they must have heard us, because now they're actually actively looking to take the space away from Durka.
Okay, I don't mind that. But now I want to see if they can deal with utility on the rest of the map. Post up someone like Twiston, leave him to his work, see if they get overconfident potentially if Durka goes exploring. They seem hyper aware of the chance someone could slip towards this position. So I don't know what's going to really dissuade Durka from continuing that train of thought unless pressure comes onto the other side of the map.
He's actually found the wallbang on Twiston.
Yeah,
He's found the second shot as well.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful read from Durka. That is ridiculous.
He is one of the best in this game. I could not care less. This guy is near untouchable. And a little bit of pressure towards Garage. Now, I don't mind that, but Durka's still immovable. He's standing and holding this. He's reading them so well. Can he get any more done? He's waiting for it. He's seen another pixel out of place. He's got the tag, but not the frag. He did find at least Bone Cold. Send it to stay alive. 40 seconds now. Where do the options lay? It's taken them this long, 2 bodies, to get past Durka.
Destrian not going to find an engagement here towards mid. Again, no utility here, so Boaster
left.
rotating across. At least he should still catch the audio cue, but it's not comfortable. Last 20 seconds. Still lots of utility available for Chronicle, Alpha, and Leo. So actually got the Cosmic Divide as well for Boaster.
Ooh, drifting a little deeper
Not
towards
anymore.
the connector. Okay, and finding Leo. Didn't expect Leo to be caught towards that either. Maybe he was assuming they'd fall back, trying to hold that plant, but just fine. Now Chronicle and Alpha. Is it a closeout here? Do we get another round? Alpha creeping closer. They seem very unaware of it. Finally, a little bit of a turn from Molzy. Yeah, seems to finally check towards it. Alpha does slip ahead of it, but 3 to find is quite a tall task. Not going to happen.
Wow.
Vitality back within touching distance here. Hello, Badger.
I still can't get over that. Durka, not just once, but 3 times. Misses on the first, by the way. It's the second and third that catch.
Audacious.
And another, actually, there's such a fine margin to this round, not spiraling out of control if Durka finds that extra kill onto Cinder.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not just a tag there.
Is he okay? Bloody hell. Okay, Durka operator out. Enough to fashion a purchase here as well for Vitality, so not really missing out on too much, which is great. Twiston quick to work though. Alpha this time is on patrol though. He is actively holding, but his utility is being swept clean. And it's desperate to punish.
Taking a ton of damage there, hanging around. I think he's thinking they've not found me on the first couple of spams, but finally being taken down with the 3rd attempt, I think, into that smoke. Ping's coming through from Vitality. They're looking to try and find that mid-round advantage towards B. Difference being Durka's going hunting elsewhere. Posted up way deeper.
Pings. This is much better. But he sticks around. He's not afraid. Yeah, you still need to put real intent behind clearing him. But they've kept him humble to this. But they are now allowing the rest of the
there's
rotate.
nothing behind that.
This is massive. There's 3 players now on towards C. They've got that nice adjusted little setup here as well. Boaster just trying to buy some time, make that site feel as uncomfortable as possible. 38 seconds. You're going to hear that audio cue and Twiston going hunting. It's Chronicle to find Destrian though. Molzy with the trade, a little sloppy in the end, but now Molzy wants to cure towards CT. This is lovely work. Surely this is it done. Twiston has to get a shorty kill. It's in his contract. And Durka, gun glowing, but he needs 3 more. Oh my word, an attempt made, but he's not going to have it. 12 to 12, it's OT, and I'm so happy we got here. Vitality finally hitting those challenges, doing what we wanted to see.
And this is a very, very well constructed round as well. You can see the intention there initially was obviously to find some pressure towards A lobby. The ping comes through for Destrian to go and drone exactly there. Creates, I was talking about lack of pressure towards Durka. Just this one, that slight exchange there makes Fnatic reconsider. At least Durka hangs around, he reconfirms behind that drone, there's nothing there. Then Fnatic have a perfect read, but actually, at the end of the day, Vitality actually come out on top of things towards C.
And this isn't like Okay, let's look at it from, you know, Fnatic fan mentality. You can't say, oh, well, Fnatic having a bad game. You got Durka dropping 25. You had Alpha acing, Durka acing. Everyone's playing a good game.
Incredibly well.
They're playing a great game. Exactly, and for the fact that Vitality now going toe-to-toe, 6th place up against 1st like this. Amazing. Now, willing to fight. Twiston, brave. And how long can he hold this? He's got no one really holding his other side here. Yeah, no, he's dead. He's absolutely dead.
I was going to say the timing there, the dash rapidly expiring, hoping Vitality make a move, capitalize on that window. I'm not even sure, actually, if their Twiston dashes into Destrian and gets body blocked on the way back out. Again, it's something I'd love to see in a replay there, but it'll be heartbreak. Twiston has to try and dash away because of the flash, because of that pressure that comes through, but I think Destrian's looking to support him, swing out of that smoke off his contact, and just body blocks him. EVS, if you're listening, show me.
No pressure.
As long as nothing else happens in this round, obviously.
Yeah, hold on. Who do we have left? Sender's
still alive.
Yeah, here we go. But they've had to make just a bit of a guess, you know, a gamble.
30 seconds
Stick
left.
towards A. But the plant will be coming in towards B. Spike's on the right. Yeah, plant going to be coming through, no problem there. Still methodical in approach, Fnatic. And look at this post plant already. It's feeling very, very hard to deal with. First challenger maybe Durka towards backside, or it could be a swing from the front. Yeah, there's the first challenge. Let's look for that swing.
It's fine. Again, you take a kill here in this situation. Bone Cold going to try and smoke, but Nano Swarm's there to negate that smoke from Bone Cold.
One enemy remaining.
There's nothing really more to be done, Fnatic. Making the most of the start there. A little unfortunate as a beginning. Let's see if we can get that replay. That'd be really useful to see if that did happen. But again, neither here nor there now, but this was the very start of it. I think he got caught.
I think he got caught in the box.
Yeah,
he's caught in the box.
Thank you very much, replay man.
Again, he doesn't know because he catches the flash. It's so unfortunate. It's another one that we'd say is such a fine margin.
Durka now back to the hunt, patrolling down by Sewer.
Here.
Couple slipped ahead. Where are you going, Destrian? Destrian's lost.
Well, this shouldn't be news to them. It's happened the entirety of regulation.
Every round, and Durka's just still holding ground. This is, yeah, falling to pieces. He's got the 2 for 1. He's just grinning. This is fizzling out, sadly. A great attempt throughout regular, or at least, yeah, until then. This is quite a clean affair towards the end once it got to OT. A little unfortunate, really.
Hey, I was about to say this feels very unfortunate for Vitality because there were lots in their inability to kind of capitalize on Twist. Twiston might have had a chance there if somebody else swings onto the backside of it, but does actually drop away, jumps back up, and will punish
Durka.
So yeah, we'll actually remove the head of the snake here in the pistol round. Alpha hasn't found much progress towards B just yet.
Let's see if the timing's right for Destrian too. Really nice time purchase around 30 seconds as well.
I was going to say, yeah, if he gets a sound cue somewhere here, this Molly can buy so much value towards the late round.
Back up the Bone Cold as well, just came through, so when that gets used, this is going to be pretty much game on. Viper utility towards top side, TP taken, and they're going back for the A crunch, but again, Vitality still have players here. They didn't need to rotate. There was no real pressure, no real threat towards
Spike
B.
Down.
This one's pretty much done for, yeah, as much as they can try and do a bit of damage here, which, yeah, they'll get 1, actually 2, tell a lie, doesn't really make for much here. Beautiful work from Vitality. This pistol round was lovely, but honestly, felt a little bit underwhelming from Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even say great work Vitality here. Fnatic just completely overcooking this. I think maybe anticipating they're going to create so much pressure from this one snake bite onto default. This was really bizarre. See Twiston find that kill. Like I said, there was a winning opportunity actually initially, but he drops off the block. Yeah, very, very strange. I'm not even sure, actually, if Durka dying is the one thing that completely throws Fnatic off in this round.
Destrian either spotting a player early or just feeling enough of that pressure. Gonna slip away from this, doesn't want to make it too easy for those classics to close the gap or whatever, maybe on the other side, so...
Yeah, I don't want to see him post back up here.
No, he can sit pretty deep on this one. They can isolate the site, but the fight will be coming down towards that jump down on long. And actually, Destrian does get punished. Now, Bonecold's still here. The flash was quite good, but doesn't quite note the player. That's Durka. Lovely handling of Durka there. He's gone down, so that's one of the weapons gone. Bonecold. Oh, pistol arrow coming out here. Oh, it's beautiful. Rolling it back. That's the Bonecold you want to be seeing. Gorgeous work from him with the Ghost. And again, we're going to have to just kind of play as we go. So far, if we're looking at just those first 2 rounds, not bad at all from Twisted nor Bonecold on those agents coming in, but there's not really been a test.
I was just saying,
next couple of rounds, this is where we start really looking into
right
it.
there off, let's look towards the buy rounds for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's an opportunity here for Fnatic to actually flip this back in. Great timing on the Viper wall being dropped, by the way. Plays Bonecold in perfectly, because Fnatic are left wondering who's next to swing on site. Almost anticipating Bonecold drifting back towards long, focusing his attention there.
Oh, this is quite a tasty purchase, though. Excluding Destrian, you've got, what, 3 rifles and the Bulldog coming in. That's not bad by any means. Twiston and Dirk are still facing off, seemingly the whole way through. Flash gives them the angle, but doesn't give them much more.
At least this time, I mean, similar approach to the pistol round, but much quicker to collapse towards B. For Destrian to, I was going to say, catch some information, wait for him to invest this smoke, and a very deep investment in the smoke, actually. Bonecold. Dancing with death a little bit there. They pass each other.
Dirk are the first to turn. And the follow-up as well. Destrian left completely unaware. Punished. Beautiful side take. A little fortunate, you could say. Roll of the dice short. You take what you're given. A bit of a spam comes out from Dirk. It doesn't quite find Molesy. Got to be careful here, though. And the flank is a million miles off. Still has all that utility in place as well. Alpha very much alive and kicking. See if they can achieve any damage from this. They still have 3 rifles here for Vitality. And it looks like Alpha getting a little interested. Going to take over elbow, no threat there, and they're starting to slip away.
I was going to say, I'm curious if Vitality even go for this.
Yeah.
Again, as soon as Sender hears the cam, it's like, yeah, it's going to be tough for me to find anything, guys. And actually, Fnatic playing great distance from this utility as well. Finally now coming back towards Fountain, but Sender, I was going to say, might not even be anticipating somebody from Fnatic being there that early. Again, even with this purchase, again, the numbers were good behind it. Vitality will have to concede. Again, I think Durka and Bonecold catching the flash at the same time means they pass each other. Luckily, Durka reacts.
Yeah, so blind on the way in. You can see just literally hopping over him basically at that point. Bonecold was lucky to be alive. Standing up on default like that, just spots 2 players going out through hookah.
Maybe this is a contact play. Again, with the 2 players towards B, it feels a little uncomfortable to have Destrian towards, obviously, Cubby outside long, and then, well, Bonecold playing crossfire from, I don't know, Cubby under window.
Yeah,
they want to make absolute use of that Viper wall, sure, but you'd almost want a 3rd player there. There to commit to that opening engagement. They're going to find a ton of space here. Which was initially Twiston actually will be noted, but the crossfire perfect from Molesy. Boaster good for the trade though. Yeah,
fortunate spacing there. Boaster really well played to that. And Alpha, the timing fantastic through showers. Twiston looked like he was dead 10 minutes ago on that sort of deal. Bailed out initially. That's not where they wanted the molly, it seems.
I think they are, yeah, just trying to clear towards this corner here. Because there's still no plant come through.
Oh, I guess it does get Sender back into position. Does Alpha find the fight? He does, and he wins it. Bitter for Sender in that. Bonecold and Destrian the last alive. Does well on one, but he takes so much damage that Fnatic just outliving them at this point. Yes, Alpha is low, but his position encroaching slowly but surely. Lovely angle, though, from Destrian. Punishing Leo. We're back to a 2v2 now.
Alpha's 8 HP as well, but actually reflank short. Finds that kill, and now he can slip back into showers. Bone Cold has to find this 1v1, and he has to do it quickly. Boaster, great positioning there to catch it. Alpha just so slippery in this round.
Really hard to pin down. Even finding that timing initially on Twiston was very nice, but then, as you said, playing the timing perfectly, 8 HP. He was dead if he didn't get it right. So very well done in the end for him. That was that initial fight. But yeah, just a menace here. And again, this is one of the maps that put Alpha on our radar, really, when we first started to see him come into his own. Back on more Killjoy-esque and other agents, but still looked fantastic here. And now, 2 apiece, tied up. Go back in.
Halsey. As I say, with absolutely no second swing possible for Twiston there, still happy to take the engagement, and Durka will fall very early once again. And I'll keep my eye on that again, because it's not something we're often talking about.
No.
With Durka losing out, I don't want to say losing out on opening engagements, but conceding the first death so cleanly with no possibility of a trade.
Yeah. It's a very rare occurrence. Fnatic creeping towards A. 3 players here, though. No rotations yet from the other side. They are starting to explore over towards B. They are trying to get a little deeper, and actually Sender just spotted out Alpha there. The dog has been spotted. Oh! Sender! So clean dealing with Boaster. Now Spike left. Does get picked up. Chronicle going to get that back to hand, but the side just doesn't feel secure. They have 3 players here, though, and Alpha's one of them. Delivers a great shot towards Molesy. Sender puts it right back towards Leo, though. A 3v2. The flank yet really not come into effect from Destrian. Slowly creeping in, but Chronicle all too aware of this. Reads
Big
it,
kill.
Gets it. Massive, back to business.
It doesn't take too much damage either, because Alpha's down to 50 HP. You want Chronicle to be in a position to close this out for Fnatic.
Flashback on for Bone Cold now. Drifting closer, they just didn't check for it. Bone Cold does find the kill on Chronicle, but time's starting to go. And now a tap on the spike short. Comes off it, swings in, Bone Cold wins that fight. I thought with Chronicle doing what he did, getting away with daylight robbery, basically, that round was sealed.
No, I'm sure, again, Vitality just don't anticipate this change of position. Sender, again, 2 beautiful kills from him. Actually, yeah, Bone Cold finds that kill at the perfect time here. Alpha, I think, in a very tough situation. And gambles on, obviously, Bone Cold either sticking it all the way through or obviously even just that initial tap, but that pressure doesn't get the better of Bone Cold.
I must wait.
Yeah, it must already be apparent in Fnatic's minds, because now Durka exploring towards a beautiful bait attempt there from Boaster. Sticks the rifle way out in the open, baits out the spam, and Durka trying to get the trade, but it's only a little bit of damage. Destrian will be healed up immediately by Twiston. First time we're seeing this 3-man set up towards B site from Vitality.
I wonder if they can feel that out already.
So in that regard, this exchange already favouring Vitality way better. Durka now has to play out with 70 HP as the entry.
That entry is just not looking comfortable at all. No one's willing to give Alpha any room to work over towards Shower either. They're sitting way deeper on the site. Should be go time now. Oh, gonna come in, doesn't? Oh, it does force him into the eyes of Alpha.
Sender's HP as well.
And Sender took so much damage trying to make it across, but he still finds 1. He still finds 2. Bone Cold's there. Where is this Vitality coming from? Flash into it, finds nothing. Seeker's going to come through, force them to give away some of the positions. But Alpha needs another miracle round. Good position. Surely going to get 1. Yes, that's Sender gone. Oh, big shot from Twiston. The re-peek from Alpha. Maybe a little audacious in this. But Twiston, safe pair of hands at the end of the day. But Sender is having a fabulous game.
He gets 2 kills on 20 HP in the previous round. 2 kills with 8 HP in this one. This is ridiculous. And Chronicle just not expecting the swing to come through that quickly at all.
Enemy remaining.
Alpha desperately trying to work that one way, or at least that headshot angle, sorry,
Yeah.
from bench, but loses out in that engagement. Not a lot working for Fnatic right now, I've got to say. It's their ability to comfortably find these opening duels has not been there.
And
I love this little bait play outside hooker.
it was
Yeah,
a lovely
sure,
concept.
But again, Fnatic come out worse off in that engagement.
It's quite nice to watch, actually, seeing Fnatic stressed and pushed and see what they come up with. 'Cause, hey, we're going back into bind, right? This is a map that we hadn't seen in a while, and a pace change maybe. Durka gonna dive on in. Bone Cold's in danger. Don't know how much he's gonna get out of this. Nothing. Okay, he goes down. High value found already.
I know exactly where you are. Spike planted.
Sender having to relinquish some of that pressure on site, and the spike's now down.
First time he's actually not been able to fight back in initially. Chronicle going to throw the pit out. It's going to be total control towards Lamps, but actually almost. It doesn't spread. I think the way that Chronicle would like it to.
Yeah, now he's just kind of left in there. That's
they're sticking the
far
defuse?
from what he wanted. This is awful. Actually, it's backfired
They're
terribly.
sticking the defuse.
They aren't getting off the defuse. They don't have to. Vitality. Oh my word, Molesy. This is just surprise after surprise. One, a little unfortunate for Chronicle there, but it just didn't work in his favor by any means. But there was nothing behind that for Fnatic.
I mean, I didn't catch it off screen, but I'm not entirely sure of the wall placement.
I didn't quite see it because we weren't. Oh,
Okay.
it's ratty.
Yeah, so it not only blocks obviously any damage coming through, but actually prevents that bounce and the bounce of the molly to actually land through. I think it did just about catch behind it, but by that point, like I said, Twiston was already sticking.
Yeah, that
so
was
even off
already
that
late.
first sound cue, there, depending on when you fire the molly, you're not anticipating that first tap to be the full defuse.
No.
Especially in what, still 4v4?
I think it was 4v4 at some point still. And this is interesting because we haven't really seen Fnatic tested that much this season. I think is a fair assessment. They have sat perfectly clean throughout their run. Not even arguably one of the best teams there is as it stands. Now a little bit of a test for them. First time we have to see them thinking on their feet here. Minis got his work cut out. This is when you're going to have to try and come up with what you can. Maybe not expecting someone to bring in bind this early. Again, this is a really bold pick to go up against Fnatic on.
And again, my curiosity lies with actually how well a Vitality prepped bind to pick it against Fnatic, right? Historically a stronghold for them. Again, adopting the original FPX approach to bind, but they played it perfectly. In my eyes, probably top 3 bind team in the world.
Yes,
barring old Optic.
Yeah.
Got the spike.
This is very interesting. Again, though, I do think if you ever hear the coach Sala talking about the team and how they kind of come into map vetoes, he tries to read into the opponent so well. Maybe feeling that they could have the advantage on maybe a slightly underprepared Fnatic. Who knows? As it stands, though, looks like a contact piece here. Pop flash, not bad. Not good enough, though. Durka going to start winning out some of these opening engagements. Bone Cold now punished. There is the additional player brought over towards B, though, so that is the one redeeming quality. Now, what does Vitality do with this?
So reclearing the space outside Sands is actually huge. Chronicle seemingly aware. Again, the ping comes through from Chronicle, I think, but he's not ready for Molesy to be posted up on that angle.
And it looks like someone's going back to check. Yeah, it's Leo. Precarious, dangerous game, but it's worked well for him. Beats Twisted to the punch. Second flash does catch.
Good diligence there with the second flash as well. The first not finding anything, but now at least he has the confirmation. Alpha's going to be heard on this flank though. Sender's still close enough. Alpha's knife out. He's thinking everybody's made their way to B site already.
So it's a 3v3. You've still got a little bit of utility as well. Destrian still had 2 smokes into play. Boaster does find Sender though. Durka's position is just hard to clear. Unfortunate to find. And Fnatic depending on Durka here.
I was going to say, but just to come back, this isn't an opening engagement that Fnatic worked themselves into.
No.
So yeah, Durka winning that out is huge. It's unfortunate for Bone Cold not to catch, I guess, full effect on the flash and be rewarded for it, but...
It's not one of those crafted entries, is it?
No.
It's just turns the pop flash. Brilliant, game on.
And the concerns have been the other rounds where it's, yeah, let's work Durka into showers, get him into a position where, you know, we want him to isolate X player in this location. Alpha's got to be scratching his head around that though. Like I said, I was looking at the minimap thinking, Alpha's trying to make moves here, but Sender's still not completely rotated yet. So the awareness is there from Vitality.
Ult going to be invested this time. The ult's sitting quite comfortably with Vitality.
Twiston now on an op.
There we go. First challenge. Looks like a similar setup with the bait. Running it again. Doesn't get the reward, but it's very naughty. Seemingly, though, Vitality now becoming wise to it.
Yeah, I love the adjustment from Vitality, actually, where Destrian's been happy to take contact in that very position.
Going through the Viper's pit, though, Mike, this...
I mean, 50 seconds left, still some time to establish Shower's control, but yeah, it's...
Do they have anything to... I think we've got the dog on Leo. Flash, twist, and does catch Boaster. So now, how are you going to get yourself on the site out of Shower?
Well, Molsey's boombot didn't actually spot anything, so Fnatic have an opportunity to find full access to backside, or at least a backside plant. Actually, the Snakebite going to slow things down here.
Okay, that's both players seen. Molsey going to eat that flash, but time still good, 20 seconds here. Durka does get to the back of the side, but the Seeker's going to come out at the right time. Molsey now just waiting patiently, does finally pull the trigger, swings the corner, but he gets punished on it. Chronicle and Alpha, you can't make it out of Showers. This feels one-dimensional, and that's a rarity for Fnatic.
And it's actually the timing of the Seekers is perfect from Bone Cold. It's like I said, there's a point here where Fnatic have full access to backside, and all the change... Oh my God. The only thing that changes this is the Seekers. As soon as the Seekers actually don't go down long to where they kill Boaster, they go back into spawn, everybody's making their way towards A site. The Snakebite then, what, it's 3 to 5 seconds it buys, but it's crucial. Because the one win condition here is Fnatic is finding a backside plant or a triple plant that's comfortable, and they can't do that.
Nope. You give a different round like that, Durka a little bit more freedom, doesn't get as punished towards backside. He would have absolutely gotten something for them. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, this is dangerous. Bone Cold, he's going on it. The flash was so good, but Chronicle is so much better somehow. 2 shots with the Deagle. I haven't said that before. Sheriff.
Taken out.
And this round looks like Fnatic finally got that entry they wanted.
Planted.
Twisting should be, I was going to say.
Sage Orb.
Going back to the CNED days on Sage.
Oh.
Let's invest the res here.
Okay.
Chronicle rewarded with 2 freebies here.
Yeah.
And Sender now reconsidering his approach. Down at 600 credits, the lowest on the side of Vitality, so going to try and hold on to this as best he can. I say that.
What?
We've Chronicle the pseudo ace. Third ace, inverted commas, in the series for Fnatic. And yeah, what's curious is that when you invest the res, that's the point at which you think, yeah, Sender's going to commit to actually fighting back through spawn.
Not after it's been dealt with.
No.
And
I think the only thing that would change that is if Sender has his pit and he can play a Spectre or a Judge into it, but we know that was already invested, so you have to play this one out with the Bulldog. Even Destrian the closest at 2400 to try and get a rifle back to him, but not going to happen regardless. I think Adzi, even the problem being he's light shield and only 1 Snakebite. Fnatic now actually looking to focus this area with utility.
oh, bloody hell, that's a lot coming towards Destrian. Hasn't had the opportunity to back away, but still stands his ground and wins the fight somehow.
Spacing very peculiar, but Leo does find the trade now.
Yeah, okay, so that's at least Hookah now cleared. You're going to have backside now clear. Molly towards CT, so they've pretty much cornered off the vast majority of the site.
Forced everybody off site.
Yeah, this is quite nice. So yeah, Plant can go down without much contest unless they try and break back through. No, not at all.
Chronicle has his ult again. Yeah, actually can see this invested towards elbow this time. Much better spread.
Yeah, that's far more comfortable. Alpha the first to claim one. That's Molsey gone down low. Bone Cold going to be punished by Leo. Sender not quite there in time, but now does make his time to shine. Twiston, what can you find here?
Surely not, right?
Surely not. Surely not. The wall's surely broken. Does get it a half, doesn't matter. Fnatic this time making sure to not be caught short.
Last round before the switch.
I said even early on, you think Vitality are going to come out massively on top in this half, but potential here for them to still finish 7-5 short. Spacing very strange on this first engagement. I think it's all riding on Durka winning that. Again, it's hard for Leo to really swing with him when he's satcheling into Hooker. Obviously, he's just going to get thrown about by their satchels as well. So maybe set up for this snakebite towards long again, and I think previously there wasn't really much progress made up long behind it, but double stacking hooker this time. So it looks like Vitality's answer is to actually stack numbers here.
You saw how all-encompassing the site hit was just previously. Yes, that had the ult to kind of add to it, but still, I don't actually mind them trying to adjust around this. They do get fair access to the site, though. This just makes, I guess, the retake a little bit more possible. They did go for the 3 players towards A this round, so again, can Fnatic hold this now? Doing very well before this buy, far from perfect.
There's a lot of space to cover, actually, here for Vitality in terms of time.
On the timing might just be right here. Alpha, he could catch 2 on this one. Spots at least the foot of 1. Boaster and Dirk are doing well themselves on the side, but here comes the cavalry, and there goes Alpha. The timing just gorgeous on the 2v1. Twiston, he's got his work cut out for him now. Tap on the spike, but eats the flash. Gives away the position. This is hard to watch. There's nothing surely he can do here. Needs to get this towards half, and he's still making a damn good goal.
Oh, he ran out of ammo. That's heartbreaking.
That was actually so close.
And it's that brings us to an even half here. Very, very impressed with Vitality, actually.
Yeah, let's kind of talk that back through.
And not a lot of these set pieces are really based around, you know, Twiston finding space with that wall or really securing any space. I mean, how many times do we see it actually still available for the retake or even looking for that defuse as well?
Yeah.
So again, I mean, at least it's a big tick in the box to see Twiston perform on another agent. Sure, it's definitely a side topic to discuss.
Yeah, because it did leave us questioning things. I mean, the man is magic at what he does normally on his traditional agents, but doesn't look completely out of sorts here. You saw it brought into pretty decent effect. If anything, I'm just kind of surprised that we've seen Fnatic once again push this hard. It's a very competitive scoreline here. Vitality doing incredibly well in rounds that we don't necessarily expect them to sometimes. Certainly helps Ascenders having a fantastic series, but even beyond that, I want to see how Fnatic look now, the shoes on the other foot.
Yeah, and I think the question for me actually coming across into Vitality's attacking half is actually Destrian's value on this Brimstone.
Wow.
Again, the second layer to that being Bone Gold's ability to really support Molesy or potentially Twiston if he is going to kind of frontline Sage in some of these executes. Because that's the one that sticks out more to me, right? Again, the numbers here don't really paint a picture for us to really dissect too much. Destrian at 5 and 10, but again, it's the role that he was playing in controlling hooker. It's not one that's often rewarded with a boatload of kills or anything like that. But certainly here we're looking for the efficiency, I guess the value found from him on the attack. Whether or not Vitality's going to look towards this kind of post-plant setup, again, double controller with it being a Viper, usually leans towards some kind of post-plant comfort, although we didn't really see that from Fnatic, who were the ones to really excel at doing that.
Yeah, almost patenting it.
Patenting.
Horrible word choice I went for there. Don't know why I've done it to myself, but yeah. A couple questions about this half of me, and especially when it comes to Vitality, is how they bring the agents in that they're on. I think you highlighted it before. I'm not certain about the whole Twiston leading the way, but if that's the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, the other question as well is actually how much value Alpha's going to get off his utility as well. It's always difficult to be a Cypher versus a solo Raze duelist. We always talk about, obviously, Raze being able to deal with that utility very well. Again, you could argue that actually maybe it plays in Alpha's favor. Maybe Molesy has to burn some of it up to deal with his utility, but when it's Raze to actually enter a site, we talk about Cypher being the hard counter for Jet.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Going back in, 6 apiece here. A very close series across the board, map 1 included. Seems like it's no different, but Chronicle making very good work of Bone Cold. However, Twiston deals with it. Pops up a wall and makes us feel inaccessible.
Fnatic looking to pinch through the TP very quickly as well. And it's going to be all 4 players now coming through the back lines of Vitality. Sender won't be noted with the Trailblazer. That's huge that Destrian deals with that.
I don't know how much information they have, but still, so much value from Sender. Even just to find one in that position is massive. I didn't think you'd have any, even though the Trailblazer didn't quite get towards him. However, a 3v3 now. Towards the side they go. It's Alpha to find Twiston, but the trade comes in. Destrian still being a nuisance and does great work with the Frenzy. 1v1. Is that on enough? Boaster does damage. He's actually caught Molesy. Left in the smoke to rot. Boaster with a defuse. Fnatic pick up the first in the second half.
And there's one thing I'm curious about.
Okay.
Molesy was curious about it as well, but the placement of that trip. Again, right behind Truck in that position, that only really confirms if Vitality push out of lamps to backside. That's so curious. Did the Molly actually hit him there? Is that how Boaster actually gets confirmation? I'm sure I noticed it there on the trail from the Molly of whether or not.
Yeah, actually hit him. Not sure.
But yeah, I'm really curious about that trip. Not this one. It wasn't that one.
No, that one. Okay, so round 2 here. Sheriffs, not Deagles, are out. And Boaster put down very low, but has kept his life, and he still has those smokes to invest. Just gonna be healed up. Leo called on over to triage. Any more chip damage can be done? Let's find out.
You don't actually see Boaster opting for the Marshal here. You usually do see him as the focal point to farm that ultimate. Nothing gained off the trip here. I think maybe looking for a wallbang out of lamps, but it doesn't come through. Oh. Bone cold and a Sheriff, man.
There's nothing better.
No.
There is nothing better.
Such a high success rate. Leo, though, will be next. If you can find this, definitely doable here. Molesy's found one. Leo able to shut him down with the stinger, though.
Can he keep his life? He's outstayed his welcome here. Spike's still there. Twiston can wall off CT, so that's now does get broken, so not secure. So Sender has to be on active duty. Spots out the player, gets the weapon. Not
the worst of the
what he
two.
Wanted, yeah. But now the positions, what's left, what's remaining? Chronicle in a 1v2. That's massive for Vitality. Finally starting to see those Sheriffs look good in their hands. Some opportunities made off the back of it, and then making the most of what they had towards the site. Score tied all even now.
Sure, flipping round 2 back is a massive victory. On the back of it, you've got to argue
30 seconds left.
the kill onto Alpha being the crucial one to swing this. Twiston's perfect awareness. I'm worried about him bursting a blood vessel eventually.
If he was an older man. That's a young man's game down there. Oh, his blood pressure's probably really high. Well.
I was curious actually if we do see this wall. This is the one I was talking about earlier on in the broadcast. Again, it's something now that cuts off that Showers TP a little better. Fnatic have found this kill very early on. Boaster kind of wanted that. But I think Alpha prioritizing for the neural theft here. Will reveal the lurk here. I don't know if Vitality are thinking actually 3 players showing Showers. Maybe it's an A stack here. Curious whether or not actually Leo and Chronicle can find anything here. They're kind of locked out right now.
Leo's got his flash. Doesn't get it. It still wins the fight?
Boaster finds one as well.
How is this happening? Vitality are crumbling, and this is frustrating for sure. Spike now down securely. Boaster, a little uncomfortable, down at about 10 HP, but he's still alive. And Destry not being given much here.
Left.
And the timing's just right for Alpha. This is a devastating round, and a brilliant one for Fnatic.
Back-to-back flips. That's crazy.
Very nice.
I mean, Boaster is under so much pressure here where it actually smokes himself off to get it out of this cubby. I think a snakebite just comes through from Sender a second too late. It's the spot there as well.
30 seconds.
So relaying that information again as he sets up, like I said, Leo and Chronicle to find something from Elbow. And you even said it, the flash didn't even catch anything.
And they still get the round. Okay, we're left in a very weird buy. 2 rifles, so Twiston and Sender, the only 2 to have them. Sheriff's outside of that, so Bone Cold on a full buy.
It's
And
another pinch set up here.
It's so well done. This time, though, they do suffer casualties, but you're right, the spike was there.
And this is where that wall actually comes in to be very influential here. Cuts off the TP and actually gives Fnatic full control of this area and the spike so early on in this round.
That spike could not go down.
Actually, I think Twisted and Destrian both have weapons as well. So they lose out on that. Ton of damage coming through. I mean, Vitality at least forcing Fnatic back a little bit, but...
Yeah, this wall is filthy. Poster, again, one away from the ult. Very nice. Making the most of the time here, because Molesy doesn't have a good decision to make. There is no good choice here. And being baited on through. Chronicle, they want to close it down, but the spike going down, there was the death of Vitality that round.
And I'll be honest, at this point, with how it started, this is where you do get a little bit concerned, actually. Fnatic close out this bye round. The ultimate's just about coming online now for Vitality, but again, with that back and forth, it's not in the round where you really want to have to start relying on them. They get themselves into a post plant. Orbital strikes there. Actually, Boaster will get his up from the orb retrieval here on B long.
Fast progress towards long, though. With the 3 players waiting on the other side.
Actually going to invest it ahead, just maybe to clear sight.
Let's see. What does Destrian choose? No? Okay. Smoke instead. Maybe. Okay, spotting Leo. One smoke goes in, flash towards long. Flash finds nothing on the other side. Yeah, this is going nowhere. They can both evade this, and actually Fnatic taking the space back. Happy to move on up. Chronicle and Leo working in unison.
Yeah,
Vitality have achieved nothing. Vitality
have to reset because Destrian is now solo with the spike.
Oh!
Sender finds an opener. Boaster looking as if he wanted to send a molly towards this smoke on long, I think.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, will be confirmed here. We'll at least get the stun. I'm sure Boaster did actually send it, but...
Okay, but Leo's backside. Boaster still holding on as well, playing from Cubby. Timing, a little awkward, but he actually gets away with the kill towards Destrian, and Leo is just looking fabulous in this. No time for a play to be made here for Twiston.
I think they read it as well. Leo and Dirk are both looking back this direction. Just gonna find one, but...
Real close. But no cigar.
It was actually very close.
But again, it just a little offset on the timing, and yeah, this is time to try and figure out what's been going on. Higgs is 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, they can't force. Won't be a comfortable force by any stretch of the matter. Again here, for Bonecore to make a play like that, like I said, Destrian has the spike then. So it's like, is the expectation there for Destrian to follow up, or?
Wasn't a great idea if he did. How much depth do they have here, Vitality? A couple of opportunities now that stripped away from them after having what has been a very competitive game up against the #1 team in EMEA. Starting to slip through their fingertips here for Vitality. Frustration probably starting to show a little. So they've hit that brick wall again. We kind of noted it in map 1. They did find an adjustment eventually, took it to OT, but it's a different map.
Yeah, difference being we're not seeing some of those round victories come through that we saw on Haven, where Vitality are able to, against massive odds, swing rounds back in their favor. I'll be honest, in this one is the one that kind of makes you very, very concerned for the remainder of this half. 4-1 so far in the second half, but again, Vitality flipping round 2's kind of been the only positive.
Yes, not much else has come through for them. And Fnatic starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. And Pacey, yes, but Molsey has been spotted. How? How is he hitting those sort of shots? Half his kills, I swear, are just with the Sheriff at this point.
They look to springboard off this. We get a lot of information here. Boaster getting caught up in his utility, to be honest.
Oh my god, Molsey! Molsey's found another. Boaster's gone down. Destrian takes over the site. Now, Durka and Alpha, though. Spam close, but the plant's in. Finally, something on their side. What can they do about this one? Nothing being given. A lot of utility still to play with because they just worked their way in off the site.
A little implicit from Durka. They'll try and slip away here. So much in the same way as actually that round 2 got flipped. This is
One enemy remaining.
well, you got to argue Vitality come into this not feeling the most confident, but Molsey, man, catches the team flash and then still lands that shot on Chronicle.
Don't know how. Don't know if he even really noted Chronicle at that point. Like, obviously, maybe some awareness, maybe a call, but the reaction of him being able to take him down that quickly after about a team flash? Look at this, fully blind. Comes out.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, Molsey.
One enemy remaining.
Beautiful stuff from Vitality. Like I said, the question there was actually building whether or not they springboard immediately off it. I think the Seekers is the confirmation, actually. Like I said, Bosa just getting caught up, I guess, in a moment's hesitation around utility, whether or not he can actually slow this hit down, regain control, but at that point, Molsey then just explodes with the satchels, Yeah.
The pace of this map.
That gets Vitality right back in this half, by the way.
You're
talking about them walking the tightrope in terms of the finances. It's only 3 players, yes, but they have a little bit of a buffer now.
Ah, yes. Seen this Viper's Pit once or twice. Being controlled by Chronicle for now. Operator is out, so there's no comfortable choice here. Keep that in mind.
Oh, Durka didn't actually spot the foot of Bone Cold there.
Oh my word, this is so dangerous. Decides against sticking around on that angle, falls away towards the back of the site, but they've got to be aware they're coming their way.
I think he's also conscious he doesn't want to show the operator too early.
Yep. Keeping that card close to the chest. There it is. Finally will be heard. How much damage do they take? Not well, actually, between the lot of them, they are taking a whole lot of damage. They have not, Destrian's just wandered on in and just been burnt to a crisp. Spike now down. Wall's gone up, sure, but do they get the plant? No, the wall's been decimated, so they have to readdress this one. Durka.
The Viper's Pit's dropped. I mean, they still have this wall and the trap.
There's still Leo here, too.
30 seconds.
Oh, that's horrible. Alpha catching them perfectly. Sender gonna, yes, catch Boaster, but still, this final player, Sender, the spike on the other side of the map, it doesn't matter. Leo stuck around as well. Fnatic doing well there, a little bit chaotic at times.
Very chaotic. As saying, yes, the buffer was only on 3 players, but it required Vitality winning another round, stringing 2 together to actually really reap the benefits from that position. Now, again, with the loss bonus being reset, they actually don't get the advantage. Alpha actually still found. Probably not even the one you're looking for there, to be honest, but it's Twiston that has to deal with the tripwire.
Right, back to business.
Toxins going up.
Trying to claw together what they can for a purchase here. 2 Sheriffs, 3 rifles. Rez, Sender has got his ult as well. Viper's Pit is there. On the other side, Durka still with that operator in play and a full purchase behind it. Ult's not to really supplement. Yes, Alpha's got his, but a lot of weight on that man's shoulders.
Yeah, pretty much solo anchoring, and all 5 members of Vitality leaning to this side of the map.
He's going to hear the dog, but the first man to rotate will be Boaster.
Not spotted.
Oh, Lord.
Wasn't spotted from the Trailblazer.
He's getting proactive. It's probably the right choice. It's not a comfortable one, but he's actually won the fight as well. Taking out Sender, and Fnatic are there in numbers. Alpha, Boaster, Leo, they've all turned up, and Twiston now left in the 1v5. He's found the first. Taken down to 50, flashed up, surrounded, and the spike left so deep, far away from him. This would need a miracle of sorts to happen.
Got some space to work with, but it is a 1v4 nonetheless. Operator in hand for Durka, showstopper available as well if it all goes amiss, but I think now with Twiston making the decision to come back through the TP. It's all but done for.
Opponent's killed. I have the spike.
Curious.
18 seconds now.
Leo finds this kill.
I think that's
Leo does find that kill indeed. It's 12 for Fnatic.
And this is actually a great setup as well. Alpha not interested in dealing with that long pressure at all. The variation on the Viper wall here from Chronicle, this is the plan all along for Fnatic. Again, to take contact off this camera and this pinch to come through.
I just love watching Alpha's decision-making sometimes. Again, solo anchoring that site, starts to feel the pressure, knows that backing away, even after not being particularly noted, wasn't an option, fights forward. Love seeing that from him, buys that precious couple of seconds for those rotations to come in, have that little pinch from the TP, and now it's a timeout. Vitality, have you got anything for us here?
We'll see how the ultimates lie here. Again, did know Twiston having the res online at least. Yeah, now with Fnatic on 12 is a very small margin for error, or no margin for error for Vitality now. At least now with Fnatic showing a couple of different looks here as well.
So I see a little bit more depth out of Fnatic.
Yeah, but, well, very happy to at least pull out some of those set pieces here in this series. If Durka actually relies on the, again, this situation here, he's got the showstopper as well, so quite happy to play or throw the showstopper in, I'm sure. Res and the Viper's Pit available for Vitality.
See if they get a chance to use it really more than anything. Quite nice to see Alpha back on this map as well. Currently leading the board, but it's Chronicle will be leading this round with contact. Does take it, but does slip away. So Shower will swing on over to Vitality's hands.
Getting Destrian 1 closer to the orbital strike. Same wall once again, so this trap play set up. I love the way that Fnatic think about things like this in terms of retaking that control based on contact, because it means you can play this 4-man stack towards A. The contingency is just so robust that they're happy to invest behind this. Trailblazer will spot out a player, but no cause for concern just yet. And the clock actually ticking away right now for Vitality. Not really drawn out much util, and not really got a lot of tangible information themselves, to be honest.
The flash wasn't popped. Now, okay, so they've had contact basically on both sides of the map. Now, it's brought Boaster back over towards A, but
yeah, but they're ready for this pinch once again.
That's what we want to see. Is it as good again? We'll find out soon. 3 players, Molzy, Sender, Twiston. Oh, and this time Alpha slips just below the cage and actually could be in danger here. Twiston hunting it, yes he is. Alpha's gone down. The pinch this time didn't quite find the same timing on it here. Orbital strike does come in, that does deny the plant, but a new spot found. But there's the rocket going through. Twiston's been denied. He's in so much danger. Time! He's running out of time, and they have none left. 2 more seconds. They can try and fight it out, but all Fnatic has to do is stay alive. Fnatic with another win here, maintaining their flawless record thus far. Top of the board, but much more of a challenge out of Vitality this time.
But definitely, yeah, and I'm very impressed overall from Vitality today, honestly. Again, coming into this matchup, some of the concerns, I guess, in terms of, you know, at face value, looking at the head-to-heads of where we do expect to see them win. Some concerns along the way this season, but even here, they should come away from this with a head held high. Honestly, they took Fnatic the distance on Haven, and even here on Bind. Again, if there's any more depth, if they look to evolve this composition, some of these role changes a little deeper, maybe they'll find some success against some of the other teams in EMEA.
And actually, that's a fantastic point you bring up, because I was doubting some of those composition changes. Some of them I didn't feel as comfortable with, but actually looked quite good here. You could see the intention, you could see what they were going for. Didn't actually stand out as the biggest issue by any means. It felt pretty good. On a day like today, yeah, it's going to be Fnatic walking away with the 2-0, but for those who watched will know this was a much closer game than most of us would have expected.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, one thing that is a big positive is to come back to that point we made earlier on in the broadcast of Vitality actually flipping rounds that weren't in their favor. And we talk about The question always remains is how the Vitality follow up on Twiston's success, where he's finding 1, 2, potentially sometimes 3 entries towards the site. Actually, there were rounds on Haven where I was thinking, yeah, there's no shot Vitality closes or swing this back in their favor, and they absolutely do.
Yeah, it was fantastic across the board, but again, standing out to me, Sender.
Sender has been phenomenal today.
Monstrous series. From map 1, map 2, he has been very, very present. Big impact from him, so great seeing him kind of flex a little, stretch his legs.
Probably pivotal to that first half of Bind, actually, in terms of Vitality's success overall. Again, those back-to-back rounds where it's like 20 HP finding 2 kills, 8 HP finding 2 kills, massive value found on the back of him on the Viper here.
Yeah, really good to see him kind of showing us the variety that he can bring to this roster. So again, it always feels such an interesting dynamic when we talk about Fnatic, because it always feels to me we're just saying how well the teams do against them is the barometer, right? Because Fnatic are the best team so far. They've held themselves to a high standard. They play to it. They've been tested here today. I love the adjustment we saw on map 1 with Alpha changing the utility after that timeout, halting that progress that was made. Loads of small adjustments, making Fnatic once again do a little bit of work. Always good to see. Again, that was first against 6, so EMEA is looking very competitive.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, overall for Vitality, you come out of this